everyone! I'm here at the Gresford Miniature Railway to meet some mini steam trains. These trains are exactly the same as real steam engines, except much, much smaller. But that means they're really fun to ride on. The mechanicals didn't want to come with me today. They said they only want to see big vehicles. Those silly mechanicals don't know what they're missing out on. This is David, and he's a model engineer and mini train driver. This is his locomotive, and it's called the Royal Air Force. It took David 12 years to build this special locomotive, and today we're going to send it whizzing around the track. This part is called the tender, and it's where coal and extra water can be stored. Now that David's train is safely on the track, it's time to transfer it onto a steaming bay. This is where the fire inside the locomotive can be lit, and the boiler gets filled up with water. This process is called steaming up. First, David uses this pump to fill the boiler with lots of water. The boiler is inside this part here. More water can then be poured into the tender to keep the boiler topped up when the train is running.
Okay, gents, tea's ready. Hey. And here's one for you, Gecko.
Oh, thank you very much, Paul. Next, it's time to fill the firebox with coal. David has soaked these bits of coal in a liquid that makes them burn much faster. The fire is then lit from underneath the firebox. David builds the fire by shoveling more mini pieces of coal into the firebox. As the fire heats the water in the boiler, the pressure builds up and has to escape somewhere. And whoa! There it goes! A quick oil around the parts and cylinders to keep everything moving smoothly, and we're ready to go. David's friend Paul swings the track over, and it's full steam ahead. Coal is the fuel for this steam train, and David needs plenty to power the train around the track. A quick stop at the coal store to load up the tender to make sure we have enough coal for the day. To let David's train onto the main track, Brian here needs to change the points. He checks no other trains are coming, pulls these levers, and the track magically moves all by itself. Green means go! Woo! Now David can whiz around the track. I can't believe the mechanicals are missing this. It looks so much fun. So, David, how do you drive a mini train?
Well, first of all, you need coal for the fire. You put the coal into the firebox, and that makes the fire. and the fire boils the water in the boiler, and the steam from the boiled water is then taken off down to the cylinders, which drives the engine. And this lever is called the regulator, and we just turn that and then the engine will start going forwards.
Hey, mechanicals! Have you been here all along? Do you want to have a ride? David, the mechanicals are so excited that they're letting off their own steam.
Come on, mechanicals, jump aboard.
Wow, the mechanicals love these mini trains almost as much as these children. I'm so excited because today we're off to visit Diggerland, which is a super duper fun place full of diggers. Now, what makes this place so great is that we get to go and play on all these amazing vehicles. There's lots and lots of different ones here to see, and they've all been turned into rides. I can't wait to have a go on them all. Ooh, look! Here's a big spinny digger. Gosh, it's making me dizzy just looking at it. Can you guess what it's called? It's Spin Dizzy. Normally, a digger's used to make big holes in the ground, but here at Diggerland, they've changed it so it can spin brave people round and round and high up into the sky. Wowzers! It looks like they're having a great time up there. It's my turn now. Wow! Ah! Phew! That was fantastic. Right then, everyone. What can we go on next? How about that ride over there? That looks very cool. It's called a sky shuttle, but I wonder what it does. Wow! It's lifting me up, up, up into the sky. The boom grows and grows, whilst the bottom of the digger is rooted firmly on the ground. I bet I can see my garage from here. We're almost 50 feet off the ground now. That's as tall as 2 houses stacked on top of each other. This is brilliant. Right, it's time to get down now. Hello? Hello? Nice to see you, mechanicals. But don't get too close there. You might end up buried in dirt. We're allowed to climb aboard these giant diggers and have fun operating them. Just jump in, belt up, and take control. Pull the joystick one way, and it lifts the boom. The other way, and it drops down. This joystick tilts the bucket on the end and scoops, lifts, and dumps the soil in a big pile. Making a mess has never been so much fun. I bet Danny the digger would love to play in here too. All this playtime's made me hungry. Time for my favourite, lime-flavoured ice cream. Lovely. I think I'll just watch this next one whilst I'm eating. See here, children can even drive skid loaders around a special track. They might not be fast, but they're lots of fun to drive. Just grab hold of the joysticks again, push forward and steer. Ha-ha! How's your driving? Don't crash! Skid loaders are normally used for all sorts of tasks on the construction site. They're known as the jack of all trades, as they can be fitted with lots of different attachments on the front for all sorts of jobs. Right, gang, I'm going on a little ride on the ground shuttle, but I think it's going to get a bit bumpy. This carriage I'm sitting in has been specially made to take people for a ride around a fun course. Wahey! Woohoo! What a ride! I had a blast on that. There's just so much to do here at Diggerland. There's a hooker duck and skittle bashing. There's tyre stacking using a loader. Whoa, don't make it tip. You can drive dumper trucks. And mini tractors. Oops, oh dear. And you can ride go-karts. A train. And mini Land Rovers. Helicopters are used all over the world for transporting passengers, but the most important use for them is rescuing people from areas that are difficult to get to by land. I'm here at Her Majesty's Coast Guard Base in North Wales to meet an amazing rescue helicopter and her crew. The helicopter behind me is used to rescue people in need from the sea or from the mountains. If someone hurts themselves on top of a mountain, it's impossible to get an ambulance up there, so the Coast Guard's called. A rescue can come any time of day or the middle of the night, and it sounds as if the crew have a rescue call coming in now. They all spring to action at once. First, they look at a map of the area to check for any dangers and work out the best route. Just look at this amazing tractor pulling the helicopter out of the hangar. Now it's time for the crew to put their special safety gear on. Everything has a purpose. This life-saving jacket will inflate so that the crew member floats in water, and it even has its own air supply, just in case they find themselves underwater and need to breathe fresh air. Then it's out to the helicopter to fly. On board are pilot Mike, Captain Kate, John the winch operator, and Tomo the winch man. It's Tomo's job to get lowered out of the helicopter to rescue someone on the ground. After a few safety checks, it's time for takeoff. This whole process, from call to flight, takes the crew under 15 minutes. Engines start. Look at how fast those rotors can turn. The rotors chop through the air and make everything around them very windy. Whoa! I can hardly stay on my feet. Red Mechanical! Let's use your super slow motion camera to see just how many times those rotors are turning. I love using Gecko super slow-mo, mainly because it just looks cool. But look, a helicopter's rotor blades can spin 10 times per second. Oh dear, are you okay, Red Mechanical? As the rotors spin faster, the helicopter lifts off the ground and flies into the air. Captain Kate controls the helicopter by pointing the rotor blades in the direction she wants the helicopter to fly. Today the crew are practicing their winching skills, using a dummy instead of a real person. The pilots skillfully hover over the area just above where the dummy is. Tomo clips himself to the winch, and John carefully lowers him down. Tomo would then check how poorly the person on the ground is, before winching both of them back up to the helicopter safely. Nicely done, team! Back at base, the engineers are always on hand to make sure the helicopters are in the best working order and ready to fly. Safety is the most important thing, and these engineers are the best in the business. It's a real team effort keeping these amazing helicopters flying and rescuing people in need. This is Tom and Kev. Tom's a pilot and Kev is a winch operator. They're going to give us a quick tour inside the helicopter.
Welcome everyone to the S92 Search and Rescue Helicopter. First and foremost, very importantly, we've got two large winches here. And these winches have got two strops, and the idea of this is we can lower these down to people in the water or on a mountain and pick them up and take them to safety. So let's look inside now in the aircraft itself. And as you can see, as you come into this helicopter, it's a large space. Here we've got a camera which we use when we're searching for people. This can pick up people on the water, on the mountainside. So when we've picked up our patient, which we've taken off the hoist, we bring them into the aircraft itself, and we can put them onto our stretcher. And they may well be in the stretcher, but this is a lovely area for us to work on them and make them feel comfortable in the aircraft, and we can give them medical treatment if they require it. Once we get to the hospital, we need to get our patient out of the aircraft safely, and the best way we can do that is we lead them and lift them off here, down through the ramp itself, off the aircraft, into the hospital where they can be looked after.
Okay, this is the cockpit of the helicopter. There are two pilots, one sits here in this chair and the other one sits on the other side. These are the controls to fly the helicopter. This one moves the helicopter forwards and backwards, and this one moves it up and down, and then there's two pedals down on the floor as well, and that keeps the helicopter straight. We've got two engines and they're controlled on these screens, and then we've got a map in the middle to see where we're going.
I'm here at the tarmac quarry to meet an amazing digger called an excavator. Excavators are the perfect vehicles for digging up loose rock. Instead of wheels, excavators run on caterpillar tracks, which are really good at gripping onto all sorts of surfaces so that the excavator doesn't slip. That means they can climb up really steep, rocky surfaces like this. Here on this quarry, they're mining for limestone rock. But to break the huge rock faces into smaller pieces, the team from Tarmac plant explosives into the rock. Using explosives is really, really dangerous, which is why the team here are specially trained. They drill holes all the way along the rock and fill them up with the explosives. Then it's time to detonate. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Now the excavators can move in to dig up all of the loose rock. This is the boom, the dipper, and the bucket. These three parts all work together to make the excavator amazing at digging. The arm can dig really deep and reach really far. Wow!
I'm an excavator, and digging is my job. I'm an excavator, it's time to load this rock. Round and round and up and down, an excavator digs the rocks and rubble from the ground underneath the twigs. There's no trouble loading and we're filling up the lorry. These rocks will make a new road now. We've dug them from the quarry. I'm an excavator, and digging is my job. I'm an excavator, it's time to load this rock. I'm an excavator, and digging is my job. I'm an excavator, it's time to load this rock.
This is Dave, the operator of this excavator. Once he's inside, he can use these 2 joysticks to control exactly what the arm does. He scoops up as much loose rock as possible, lifting it high into the air, and drops it into this machine, which then crushes and sorts the rock into large, medium, and small sizes. This rock can then be used to build houses, roads, and for farming. Excavators can move in amazing ways. The cab, arm and bucket can spin all the way around whilst the tracks stay still. This is called 360-degree movement. Woo! Dave, are you dizzy yet? Using the pedals in the cab, Dave can make the excavator move side to side like a crab. Left, right, left, right. And they can move forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards. Excavators can also load rock into dumper trucks. Once the rock is ready to load, the dumper truck reverses into place and the bucket drops the load of rock into the hopper on the back. Good job, everyone. I'm here at Claremont Farm today to learn all about tractors. Tractors are the most important vehicle on the farm. They help farmers like Andy and his family do really big jobs, like planting a whole field of potatoes. Let's get out on the road. Oh dear, I think I'm on the wrong tractor. Andy? Ah, here's Andy now, with a much newer blue tractor. Andy, can you show us round your beautiful tractor, please?
Okay, the front of the tractor. These are the heavy weights. So if we're picking up machinery at the back, we don't want the tractor to flip up. So these keep it all straight and on the ground. These are our lights. Sometimes we have to work at night and we need as much light as possible. So not only do we have the headlights, but we have spotlights at the top as well. This is the exhaust pipe. We don't want the exhaust at the back with all the machinery, so we keep it up front here, and it's high so we're not breathing in the fumes. This is the huge tractor tyre with big tractor tread here. If it's really wet and muddy in the field, we need as much traction as possible because we don't want to be slipping. The back of the tractor. This is where we connect all the implements. This is called 3-point linkage. 1, 2, 3. This goes down and picks the machinery up at the back. And this is my tractor.
Thanks, Andy. Tractors can drive on roads, but muddy fields are where tractors can really get to work. The huge wheels mean they'll never lose grip, no matter how sticky it gets. But that doesn't stop it being really bumpy. Whoa! In the spring, it's time for the farmers to get into the tractor and plant some seed potatoes. They drive in straight lines, creating these lovely neat rows. Imagine doing all of this planting by hand. It would take ages. But luckily, with the help of a tractor, you can plant a whole field in just 2 days. Deep under the ground, those little potatoes are busy spreading and growing into lots of new potatoes all throughout the year. Farmers rely on the changing of the seasons: spring, summer, autumn and winter to help their crops grow. It's now autumn and the leaves are falling off the trees. Out in the fields, we're going to be using the tractor to dig up the potatoes that we planted. They've been growing all summer long. You can put all sorts of different equipment onto the back of a tractor, and today the farmer's attaching a huge potato harvester. Now we're connected, it's away we go! The tractor pulls along the harvester as it pulls out the potatoes from the ground. The potatoes shoot up through the harvester and make their way down this conveyor belt, where the farmer checks all of the potatoes. He throws away any bad ones. Once all the potatoes are collected, the harvester lifts them up and tips them into a trailer. The farmer then hooks up the trailer and takes the potatoes back to the farmyard. Back at base, the farmers open the trailer up and push the potatoes onto another conveyor belt that creates a massive potato mountain. Think of all the mashed potato you can make out of that. Now let's have a look at how you drive a tractor.
So this is my tractor cab. This is my steering wheel, and all modern tractors now have power steering, which means that it's easier to turn the big wheels in the field. Here, this red lever, this means the tractor can go forward or back, forward or back. Here, this is where we turn the lights on. On this side, we have the hare and the tortoise. This is slow and this is fast. We have 15 different gears on a tractor. It's from very, very slow to fast on the road. So, do you remember seeing that big mountain of potatoes? Well, we can't see them now. And here they are. So we have to cover the potatoes with straw. The straw keeps them nice and warm to stop the frost getting in during the winter, but it also stops the light getting in. If a potato sees the light, it turns green and then we can't eat it. So it has to be completely dark.
Once the potatoes are ready, they make their way to the kitchen, where they're washed, peeled and chopped into chips by the chefs in the kitchen. Look at that! Fresh potatoes straight from the field and onto the plate. Yum! I've loved learning all about the different jobs that a tractor can do on the farm. Without these amazing vehicles, farmers wouldn't be able to grow all of those tasty vegetables that end up on your plate. Whoa! Look at this amazing red fire truck! This beautiful vehicle has everything that a fire truck should have. Lights, a siren, seats for the crew, a hose for putting out fires, and a ladder. But this fire truck is hiding a very special secret. It's also an amazing pizza making truck with a wood-fired oven inside. This is Ben. He bought this old fire truck and spent a long time transforming it into the amazing pizza making vehicle it is today.
Hello, Gecko.
Hello, Ben.
We need to get some cheese for our pizzas. Do you fancy a ride in the fire engine?
Yes, please. This fire truck is over 60 years old. Brave firefighters would drive in this special vehicle to go and put out fires. Things worked a little differently 60 years ago in fire trucks. Look, instead of pressing a button for the siren to make a noise, Ben has to wind this lever like this. Here we are at the cheese factory to pick up some special mozzarella cheese.
Hi Ben. Hi Gecko. Here's mozzarella.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Right, Gecko, let's go make some pizzas.
There's lots of things that go into making the perfect pizza, but one of them is heat. A really hot oven is what's needed, and luckily, Ben has a special wood-burning oven which uses real fire. Ben starts off with small sticks called kindling to get the fire started, before adding larger logs to make the fire bigger. Ben then safely pushes the burning logs to the back of the oven to make space for all those yummy pizzas to go in. Remember, fire is very hot and extremely dangerous, so only grown-ups should ever go near it. It takes a little while for the oven to get really hot, so Ben sets up the rest of the pizza stall. And here come some helpers to make lots of pizzas.
Hi, Gecko!
Hello everyone, let's get pizza making. Pizzas were invented in Italy, and to make pizza dough, all you need is flour, water, yeast and salt. Ben's already got some dough that he made last night, and now he's busy stretching and shaping it into pizza bases. Once the pizza base is nice and thin, Ben adds some tasty red tomato sauce and the special mozzarella cheese. Then you can put whatever topping you like on your pizza. Yum! The wooden board that the pizza is sitting on is called a paddle, and Ben can now move the pizza towards the scorching hot oven. Put it inside, and then slide the pizza off with a shake. The pizza sits right on the floor of the oven where it's super hot. Over 300 degrees to be precise. Luckily, you don't have to wait long for this yummy pizza to be ready, as it only takes a minute. Wow, that looks delicious. Everyone's joining in with the pizza making. Great job, guys. Everyone's doing such an amazing job of making and eating pizzas. It's making me hungry.
Hey Gecko, we made a special pizza just for you.
Oh, thank you very much. This pizza's absolutely delicious. I'm really full now, but what an amazing day we've had. Thanks very much to Ben for showing us around his wood-fired pizza engine. And thanks to all you helpers. I'll see you again soon. Bye! If you love this video, tap here so you're the first to know about my latest videos. Thanks for watching. Bye!